Keep saying my password is the same as my username.
All right, everybody, sit up straight, turn off your phones. We're on the air. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Village Board for Monday, April 4th, 2022. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Brady, roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel?
Here.
Trustee Papantos?
Present.
Trustee Vito?
Here.
Trustee Lang?
Here.
Trustee Kruger?
Present.
Trustee Rufato?
Here.
President Horker?
Here, you have before you the minutes of the meeting for March 21st, 2022. I need a motion for their approval.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Rufato, roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Abstain.
Abstain, okay. Trustee Rufato and President Horker?
Yes.
Yes. Changes to the agenda?
There are no changes this evening.
Excellent. Clerk Brady, proclamations.
Yep. Arbor Day, April 29th, 2022. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day to be set aside for planting of trees, and whereas this day, the last Friday in April, referred to as Arbor Day, was first observed while the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas the trees can reduce erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, reduce heating and cooling costs, moderate an ambient temperature, limited carbon dioxide, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are renewable resources used to countless paper, wood, and products, providing wood for our homes and fuel for our fires. And whereas trees is our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of the business area, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. President Horker, Patrick Horker, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim April 29, 2022 as Arbor Day, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to plant, maintain, and protect our trees and woodlands.
Thank you, Clerk Brady. Citizens' concerns and comments?
Not today.
All right. Staff reports. Mr. Kaup, you have something for us?
Yes, President Horker, members of the board, I have two updates. One is I just wanted to remind the residents of Wheeling that yard waste collection has started as of April 1st and will continue through November the 30th. This is on your regularly scheduled pickup day for your garbage and for your other recyclables. Townhouses and condominiums, multifamily homes do not have this service. The yard waste must be placed in a container bag, a container, a paper bag, or a garbage can clearly marked with a red X that cannot be larger than 32 gallons or 50 pounds in weight. There are no limit to the number of bags that you can have, and all yard waste must be placed at the curb by 6 a.m. in the morning. This is also for the brush pickup. As part of the program, brush must be bundled and tied with twine and can also not weigh more than 50 pounds. If anybody has any questions about this service, they're free to call Public Works, ask for Christine Bajer, our Assistant Public Works Director. And I also wanted to give a quick update on the Wolf Road project. If you had a chance to see the construction area since Friday, they did a large 2,500 linear foot concrete pour last Friday. And beginning tomorrow, April 5th, the contractor is going to begin excavating and prepping Crescent Drive for future concrete paving. Crescent Drive will be reopened to all through traffic on Thursday, September the 7th, April the 7th, sometime in the early afternoon. Starting tomorrow, Accurate will be pouring the rest of the concrete sidewalk on the east side of Wolf between Dundee and Highland. They're also planning on pouring concrete curbing and public sidewalk on Strong and Wolf sometime this week as well. Exits and entrances that were temporarily closed last week because of the concrete pour on North Wolf are reported to be reopened. If they are not reopened yet, they will be by Wednesday, April the 6th. Acura is planning on placing storm sewer in front of the driveway entrance at Holmes Middle School, which is going to impact the school starting tomorrow. But they will keep the construction times between 8:30 and 2 p.m. to make sure that the driveway is open during pickup and drop-off times. And finally, everything here is weather permitting. They're not sure about what the weather is going to look like after tomorrow. So as we enter the spring rain season, some of the construction activities are less certain. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out either to myself. I can get into contact with Department of Transportation or the consulting engineering firm that's responsible for the project.
Thank you, Mr. Kaup. Consent agenda, Clerk Brady.
All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board members or citizens so request, in which event the items will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other agenda items. 11A, ordinance authorizing the transfer of ownership of police canine rigs. 11B, resolution approving a professional service agreement with Strand Associates, Inc. for water main design services in the amount of $72,000 for fiscal year 2022. 11C, resolution approving a contract with Instituform Technologies USA LLC for the jointly bid 2022 sewer lining project in the amount of $160,112.31. 11D, resolution approving a one-year contract extension with Schroeder and Schroeder, Inc. for the 2022 sidewalk and miscellaneous concrete removal and replacement program in the amount of $79,991.32. 11E, resolution approving a one-year renewal contract with Schroeder Asphalt Services, Inc. for asphalt patching as part of the Streets Improvement Program in the amount not to exceed $40,000 for fiscal year 2022.
Thank you, Clerk Brady. Motion, questions or comments? Motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Vogel, second Trustee Rufato. Roll call, please.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes. New business. Clerk Brady.
13A, resolution approving the final plat of DiCosola Estates Subdivision, current address 747 South Elmhurst Road, docket number 2021-11.
Mr. Clicker?
Yes,
What do we got?
before you have the final plan of subdivision for this development. As you may recall, this was before us on March 7th for the preliminary approval. There were no changes necessary to the plat whatsoever, so they were able to get it to the final state rather quickly. And at the March 23rd Plan Commission, they did present this and recommend approval of it as well.
Trustee Papantos?
Is the condition still valid for the impact fees?
It is.
And that's not a problem? Thank you.
We're all good? If there are no other questions or comments, need a motion for approval?
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Vogel, roll call, please.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, good luck.
Thank you. Have a great
Okay. 13B, ordinance granting special use approval to permit an accessory assembly use for Yanni's Design Studio at 97 Marquardt Drive, docket number 2022-03.
Mr. Clicker, this is you.
Yes, as you may also recall, at March 7th, we had a text amendment to permit, to add an accessory assembly use to a permitted industrial use in our zoning code. That was brought forth by Yanni, Mr. Eilish, and his special use then went in front of the Plan Commission for approval on March 23rd and did receive a recommendation of approval. I would just like to point out that the text amendment and the way it was presented or approved is that it does need to be an accessory assembly use to the principal permitted industrial use. At the Plan Commission, there were some discussion about events or uses coming up that might not fit into that category. In fact, actually wouldn't be permitted in the zoning at all. And we would just like to highlight that the conditions of the text amendment need to be followed as this goes forward, if approved. There were some conditions that were added by the Plan Commission or recommended by the Plan Commission. There are 7. Number 1 is that any assembly/event use that shall be limited to Monday through Friday after 6 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays and holidays. 2, all entities providing for the services of food and/or alcohol shall have all associated Village of Wheeling business license, liquor license, and any other applicable licensing prior to any such services provided. 3, all assembly event uses shall occur within the building to limit the impacts on the adjacent properties. 4, the existing business license for Yanni Design Studio shall be updated to reflect the accessory assembly event use, which an application shall be submitted to the Community Development Department no later than April 30th, 2022. Prior to the issuance of an updated business license, all non-permitted signage shall be removed, or a complete application for signage permit shall be submitted to the Community Development Department for any permanent signs at the subject property. All temporary signage shall be removed in compliance with Title 21 of the Wheeling Municipal Code. 5, the area on the floor plan labeled as temporary showroom shall not be used for assembly hall event space and shall only be used as a display showroom area for Yanni Design Studios. 6, the total attendance of the assembly hall event space shall not exceed a maximum of 300 people at any given time or event, which shall also include all event staff. And 7, the petitioner shall provide an updated list of assembly hall events and a total attendance to the Community Development Department on a monthly basis in order to ensure the compliance with the above stated condition regarding the 300-person maximum capacity.
Thank you, Mr. Clicker. Questions or comments? Trustee Papantos?
I watched the Plan Commission meeting, and to tell you the truth, my first thought after hearing your new proposal was I would like to rescind the text amendment, because from what you presented to us on March 7th to what I heard at the Plan Commission meeting really stretched the limit of what the text amendment said, specifically the associated use. Having services, religious services, and just putting up chairs, I don't think we're going to be using the design aspect. That is your business. So there is no associated use. You sold us on weekends only, that this would be Friday, Saturday, perhaps Sunday, so that there wouldn't be a problem in our industrial area. And now I'm hearing 365 days a year. I mean, I watched the Plan Commission meeting twice.
May
Go ahead.
I comment on this? So we did review the religious ceremonies we're taking out of. Completely. It's out of discussion. We are not going to perform any religious ceremonies. So it's only pertaining to Yanni Design Studio business, which is events. So we clearly understand, we have discussed this with Russ and his staff about religious ceremonies. So it's out of the questions. We are not going to use the outside facility whatsoever. It's only for inside. And yes, most events are only happen during weekends and holidays. The reason we ask for Friday night is because the event industry by itself is all busy during the weekend. So if you need to throw an event for members of our community, of our industry, event industry, it would be probably a Thursday night. This is the most popular night for the event industry people because they all work on the weekends. This is the only way we ask. We would be okay if we would allow just a Thursday night and the weekend. That's fine.
All right, now you confused me once again. What is an event industry event?
Okay, so when you, let's say you want to promote the venue itself, how do you bring out business? How do you market the venue? Not just by putting on a Google or putting on any marketing social media. You want to bring people from the industry. So in order to bring all the planners, associated hotels, GMs, caterers, and so on, they need to come in. They need to come for the night to see the venue. So the night that's available for these people is not on a weekend because they all work during the weekend. So that's why Thursday night would be the night where this industry will get together. That's the only night that's available to these people.
Which says to me that you would probably only have that once a year, and secondly, and most
Correct.
importantly, that sounds like you are now trying to market your business as an event site versus a design site, which is what your business license is for.
Okay, so how do you market this whatsoever?
Well, apparently you have a website that's already marketing it quite vocally.
It's a party slate. It's not a website for the venue. Party Slate, it's a social media foundation for different businesses associated with the event industry. And they're partners with Yanni Design Studio. They came over and they offer for free. We do not pay money for it, so it's just a friendly service to us, which they're doing us a favor by helping us out. It's very difficult to market anything like this. And so we are just looking for a Thursday night, and yes, you're correct. This would not happen more than maybe once a year. You're correct. And since the report of every event is one of the conditions, it will be reported to the village regardless. We have one of the strongest conditions to report every event and every attendance.
Right, and we wanted the event reported prior to it occurring.
Absolutely.
However, you're talking about marketing, and when you came before us, you told us that you had people coming in saying, I want to have my wedding here, I want to do this, that you almost didn't need marketing, that the only reason you brought this up was because people are asking for it.
No, let me mention a couple things. The showroom needs to promote Yanni Design Studio as event design studio. And what my wife just mentioned to you, what we will be doing every once in a while is to create an event for vending industry professionals. That has nothing to do with the actual venue. It's all will be done for event promotions for Yanni Design Studio. But that's number one aspect. Yes, on Saturday and Sunday, we are gonna have, and there's a big plan to have a celebration like a wedding, mostly weddings. But in the same time, we wanted to have opportunity to have, like, for example, some of my religious ceremonies happening like for Indian community, it is 3 or 4 days event. Like for example, first event called Sangeet, that's similar to rehearsal dinner, usually happen on Wednesday and a Thursday. And there's a big celebration where all families got together, dance, eat, celebrate. The next day is PT. That's event which usually happen on Friday. That's when a bride get together with all her girlfriends and they do a henna. So that's called PT or henna party. And the next event is a Friday, that's the actual ceremony. And the next event is a Saturday, that's the actual wedding reception. So in my business at Yanni Design Studio, I do decorate all 4 of that events. And if I will offer that events for my Indian clients in my venue, I need to offer for them opportunity to be able to come over on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and have a celebration. It's not going to happen, of course, every Friday. I wish it will happen every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Business will be booming, but it will happen. It will happen. So that's why we add that we would really like to have opportunity to be on a weekdays after business hours, to have opportunity to open the door for events. Now, also, we request to be able to have opportunity to do events on holidays, because sometimes holidays like I don't know, 4th of July, Christmas, New Year Eve will fall on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes.
One moment. We need some definitions.
Yeah, I was going to ask Mr. Clicker if he could give us some definition of the term holiday as it relates to the special use for condition number 1.
And what we realized that maybe the language on condition 1 wasn't crystal clear, so we would like to actually request that the condition 1 language be amended to be U.S. federal holidays. Because those are the business days when businesses would be closed, and so having an event on those days would not impact them as nearly as much. It doesn't then mean every holiday, because I mean, you can open up your Google Calendar and see there's practically a holiday every day, but the U.S. federal recognized holidays is what we would like to learn.
And I completely agree with you. And once again, one of the idea was that we could be open the door for religious getting together. But again, guys, I want you to understand, we don't know what break any rules over here. So we talked about that yes, it's going to be no religious getting together. So we are definitely closing the door. So if any church, synagogue, or any other organization will approach us with asking, can we rent your facility? We'll say that that's against the rules of my village and I won't be able to do that. But if anybody will approach me and ask me to do their wedding on Saturday, I wanted to say yes. And if any of my clients will approach me and say, if I wanted to do any Sangeet on Thursday night, after business hours, I will say yes, and I'll gladly take these people into my venue, and I'll gladly provide services in a venue and in the core of that.
I just want to be clear on some of the Indian weddings that I've been involved with in my neighborhood. It involved overnight stays for the bridal party and some of the individuals, and that is not allowed. There are time limits here, so there's no, we're going to spend the night. And I'm talking with sleeping bags, yes.
Not the one that I know of. Speaking of sleeping bags, we are going, I hope we will be able to do that, and we'll go with contract with Westin Hotel. They will provide a special rate for my clients. They will provide the shuttle services. I already talked to GM about that, and he's just waiting for us to have approval on that. Guys, I think you misunderstand the level of events that my company is doing.
Well, this is from the Plan Commission, where my misunderstanding and what was presented, so.
Yeah, Mary, I can assure you, it's no sleeping bags on an Indian wedding.
Well, we went from religious, high holidays, religious education, which is not allowed in the industrial zone. So I was just checking with Mr. Clicker. Having events, it could have gone down to corporate events, and I don't see where that would be an ancillary use for your design, because most corporate events don't really have, the designs aspect.
And Mary, you're absolutely right. Once again, we are not allowing any corporate events in our business. Number two, we're not allowing, as we speak right now, we do understand, and I did understand it a couple of weeks ago when we had that conversation, that yes, it's not going to be any religious event. So it's going to be social events such as wedding and all additional events which happening around the weddings. That's pretty much 99% of my business.
Okay, and have you booked any events?
We do not have any secure yet. I have a lot of interest right now. We have a few clients who is waiting for me to finalize what will happen today and tomorrow. I have about half a dozen of clients who is holding for me to give them answer if I'll be able to take them or not. But I do
And
not
what
have
events
any
are these?
on the books. Yes. I'm sorry, once again.
What types of events are these?
Weddings.
Weddings?
99, yeah, it's all weddings.
Oh,
My company,
99% are all.
99% of my, no. It's wedding and one bat mitzvah.
Okay, bar mitzvah
Okay,
would
and that's
probably
what
fit.
my company do. About 90% of my business is wedding, about 10% is bat mitzvah.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. Trustee Kruger, then Trustee Rufato.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. and Mrs. Elias, thanks for coming back. As you recall, on March 7th, I had struggled with the original ask, which at that presentation multiple times was just weekends, just weddings. And what has happened since then, I echo what Trustee Papantos says. It's what I watched at the Plan Commission meeting and what I've read in the packet is a far cry. It's an expansion from what you originally brought to us, which makes my confidence wane even more. And I already made weird noises when I tried to vote on this one on the 7th. So my questions are now that, yes, Director Clicker, I'm very happy that you're going to modify condition number 1 to clearly state the 9 federally regulated holidays or recognized holidays. If this, like I said, and one of my questions on the 7th was, are there any other businesses, not like yours, that might take advantage of this text amendment, which is now on the books? Director Clicker, do you think that a special use for another ancillary business is there any part of what we have codified already that allows for the ancillary business to have the latitude to operate on any day of the year with any kind of function?
Again, it has to be ancillary to the principal business. So in that respect, no. Again, when we went through this and ran through our current roster of businesses, the only other business that we could even come up with that this would apply to
Sure
currently
Microphone.
would be Sure Microphone.
Yeah.
And I highly doubt that they're going to be doing concerts every day of the week. We could easily, again, because it is a special use, a condition could be placed on their hours of operation and days.
Fair enough.
And it's
Now-
also one more condition over here, that the building has to be at least 55,000 square feet and
Correct.
larger, which is, again, it's not that many buildings in I3 zone. I would probably say like handful of them, which is that size, and none of them is related to the wedding industry. So pretty much, I don't think it's going to be any. And also to answer the first question that you raised, once again, guys, I need you to understand, the last thing that we wanted to do that is break any rules. So whatever rules we are creating over here, which is, yes, it will be only allowed wedding, bar mitzvah, and any bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, and any events related to wedding. Once again, it could be Indian Sangeet, Indian Piti, and Muslim Garba. That's pretty much all that my events will happen over there. And as I mentioned to you, I don't want to break any rules. So yes, if I'm not allowed to allow churches to have a getting together, it's done. If I'm not allowed to do, I don't know, any other things that we're not allowed to do over here, we will just put it in our books, and I will instruct my girls who will sell that place that we are not doing that, and that will be done. I don't want it to break any rules. We have a very good relationship with a willing going on for a number of years. I always been in the good books with a willing, and I wanted to continue to be over here. And guys, I wanted to continue to stay over here. I'm building business for my family. So I don't want to break our relationship because we will have, I don't know, one church coming and have their people together over there, and I'll make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on it. Definitely not worth it.
Fair enough. You mentioned party slate, and it was also brought up at the Plan Commission meeting by the chairman. I have it's an ad. And it's for, it says max seated 300, max standing 350. This was brought up on March 23rd, and yet, though that was brought up, and you understand that this is strictly 300 capacity, including your wait staff and all your workers. Are you going to change this?
Absolutely.
Because you haven't yet.
Once again, the same answer that we don't want to break any rules. And again, please, Mary, stop by, visit Canvas, and you will see that even if I want to put over there more than 250, 260 sit-down places, it's not gonna fit over there physically. So in my mind, the wedding maximum will be about 250, 60 guests, and then it's probably gonna be about like 20, 25 people working around them, and it's gonna be probably one or two valet parking people, it's gonna be one or two security, and few more people who will be working over there. But yes, this party slate ad, unfortunately, was put by one of my associates long time ago when we start to build Canvas and everything else, and unfortunately this website is not very quick to turn it, and we have a very good relationship with them. They offered that, they offered that at free for us, and I just asked my assistant, just put something together so it will be over there. Okay. But you will see, starting from, if we will have approval today, starting from tomorrow, we will have our ads in many places.
And you'll fix that one.
With correct number.
Yes, yes.
And correct address.
And correct address.
Got it.
And again,
my last
we don't want to
question-
break any rules.
My last question is for Attorney Ferrolo. There are a lot of conditions here. My concern is that there will be, I don't want to say burden because that's such a strong word, but additional resources on staff to make sure that all of these conditions are being met throughout their tenure of this new business. How hard would it be for us to rescind the special use if we see that there's too many problems arising from it, i.e. illegal street parking due to beyond capacity events, et cetera?
Understood. There is a process to revoke a special use. In the event you do violate the terms of the special use, including any of these conditions, we would send you a notice of violation. A hearing would be set up before the village board, at which time we would present evidence of that violation to the board. You'd get a chance to respond, and the board at that point would consider the evidence, and if it determines that the special use has been violated, the ordinance has been violated, including any of these conditions, one of the remedies would be to revoke the special use, which means you could not do this business any longer. So it's really critical that you follow these conditions, you follow the rules of our zoning code, familiarize yourself with the text amendment, and be very careful to follow those. Good, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
If it's any consolation, I've been here for 9 years and I've not seen us do this, but now I know that it is it's a tool in our toolbox to make sure that there is compliance.
Absolutely.
Guys, I need you to understand, to get where we are right now, it didn't cost us a lot of money because I kind of follow recommendation. I didn't hire an attorney. We went ourselves. But it cost us so much of our time, of our pressure, of nervous and everything else. We don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it. And again, this business is extremely important for me, and I wanted to give it to my kids. And I just wanted to make sure that we will just follow rule and continue to do just basically wedding and decor, bar mitzvah and decor, wedding and decor, bar mitzvah and decor. That's all that we're doing. That's it.
And I would advise you too, if you have questions along the way and you're not sure, call staff.
Yes.
I know who to call.
So you don't make that mistake.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for your concern, and we'll make sure that you guys, at the end, you'll be happy. And it's a life. And
Maybe my son
all
will
of you
propose
have
to that
kids.
girl.
All of you one day will come to Canvas to get married. their kids and everything else, and trust me, you'll be happy with the services with a canvas and with Yanni Design Studio, I promise you that. I won't be able to give you a better deal, but I'll give you a very good service.
Good answer. Very good answer.
Thank you, thank you.
No deals.
That's right, no deals.
Thank you, Trustee Kruger. Trustee Rufato, you had some questions also?
Actually, yes, I do. Thank you, Mr. President. My understanding is that you have to report every event that you're having to staff. That's how that's going to work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so, granted, we're not, and I'm okay with you doing it every night. I don't, like you said in the Plan Commission meeting, you're not going to have an event every night. You'd love to have one 365 days a year, but the reality is that's not going to happen. I'm just thinking about, and that process that has to occur between you and staff has got to be something that's got to be really tight. And have you thought about any of that, how we're going to do that?
We have, yeah.
You have?
It's very simple as we're going to be really requesting, and we can even set it up for them if necessary. It's a very simple Excel spreadsheet that can just be emailed to us once a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to add to that, Jim, I hope you understand, nobody books event today for tomorrow. Most of my clients book like 8-9 months in advance. So pretty much like with whatever Yanni Design Studio are doing right now, I know my schedule for June, July, and August, and rarely it will change.
That's
so
true.
Pretty much on the first of the month, I can report to Russ on a basic spreadsheet of what we will do. That's very easy task.
Okay. And then lastly, and I think it was brought up at the Plan Commission meeting, the liquor licenses go with the vendor, correct?
No, it goes with a caterer. It's
The
not
caterer,
going to
I'm sorry, the caterer.
So like, for example, if you will do your wedding, you will have to, in my place, you'll have to hire caterer who will provide your food, and this caterer will have to have Illinois license, and what they will have to do, they will have to come to a village, get permission to do that on premises on wheeling. I think they will have to pay some fee or something, but again, I'll probably will come back to you for instruction how it's done.
Yeah, we're working
You'll
through
need
those details.
a caterer license, from caterer's liquor license, that is, from the Village of Wheeling.
Yeah.
Caterer liquor license from the
We
village.
issue that.
Right. You,
Well,
and I think you guys have an annual fee, someone does.
We're going to, Martin Sayar, with our Liquor Commission administration has been looking at this, and he'll be in contact soon.
Okay.
Yeah, but how it was explained to me, that it will be no problem, any caterer who have like a license in Illinois to produce the food and sell their liquor will be able to receive permission to serve that food and liquor on my premises.
They'll need a local liquor license, state and
In
local.
addition, right.
Wheeling liquor license. So, all right.
That's it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rufato.
Excuse me, President Horker?
Trustee Papantos?
One more question, sorry. You keep bringing up the name Canvas. Okay, so you've basically created a separate entity from your Yanni Design Studios. And I know people went, at the Plan Commission level. You're creating a separate business here, and I just want to make sure that this is ancillary.
It is, and that's, the business license has to be set up in a manner that it is an amendment to the Yanni Design Studio. Whether you call the space Canvas or you call anything like that is really, it's irrelevant. It's the business structure underneath.
Okay.
So we are comfortable with going ahead with that, and that it would be, in essence, like the combination Taco Bell, KFC that we have in town. That's one entity, but it looks like two businesses.
We're not comparing you to Taco Bell and KFC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. I did, too, have some issue with the way your proposal for your business grew from the time we met to the time that you were before the Planning Commission. It was disheartening, we'll call it. I was worried that, I am worried that whatever we approve today, we might go there and see something different But please do keep in mind that this is revocable. So that's all I'm going to say about that. We need a motion for approval.
So move.
With an amendment, correct?
As amended, to recognize, amended to the U.S. federal holidays that Mr. Yanni agreed to, Mr. Eilish agreed to.
Yes. So move to that.
Motion is trustee Lang, second.
Second.
Trustee Rufato, roll call, please.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
President Horker?
Be good, Mr. Eilish. Yes?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pat.
Yep.
Good. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you all invited.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
One moment. You're also doing something with the Ukraine?
Yes.
Quick commercial? Short commercial?
You want
If somebody wanted to donate something to your efforts to help the Ukraine, what's the email address they might go
Okay,
to?
so I have a
What-
special place.
What's the email address they might go to?
The email address.
There you go.
I'm going to forward that to you tomorrow.
You could say it.
We have a drop-off special services here in the state, but I will give you all the information.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
13C, Clerk Brady.
Ordinance amending Title 13 Water and Sewer of the Municipality Code of the Village of Wheeling, Illinois.
Mr. Frohl, you've been busy on this one.
Yes, and I will continue to be for some time. We're updating the village code in its entirety. This ordinance is a continuation of the comprehensive update of the code. This ordinance addresses Chapter 13.04 and 13.08, which address the water and sewer service provisions of Title 13. I'm going to cover the more substantive amendments. First, there is a global change to both of these chapters. Currently, both chapters provide that the Director of Community Development administers the water and sewer codes, and that in practice is not what's happening. It's the Director of Public Works. Ross is going to miss these duties greatly because he has nothing to do, but we do correct both chapters to indicate that the Director of Public Works does in fact administer both chapters. And in addressing the comprehensive amendments, I'm just going to go right down the line of some of the more material changes. 13.04.010 provides that only the Director of Finance can allow water service to be initiated. Section 13.04.035, which is entitled Final Billing, reduces the amount of notice required of a property owner when they are selling property to the village from 30 days to 10 days. This reduction was recommended by the Finance Department, which is why you see it here. Section 13.04.050, which is entitled Connection Required, sets forth the village and state regulations that must be followed if a private well is abandoned. Section 13.04.100 addresses damage to the village's water system and specifically water meters. This section clarifies and strengthens the liability provisions against anyone tampering with a water meter, damaging that meter, or negligently allowing a meter to be damaged. Section 13.04.120 provides that a permit is required for the installation of water service, and water service will not be allowed unless a permit is issued. Section 13.04.230, which is entitled Non-Payment, adds that major credit cards will be accepted by the Finance Department in the event that the original payment for water service is returned due to insufficient funds. Section 13.08.020, entitled Connection Required relating to sewer service, sets forth the state regulations that apply when a private sewer system or septic system is abandoned. Section 13.08.080 is the service fee schedule. The fee schedule is clarified to match the way we charge for sewer service. This change was recommended and approved by the Finance Department. Sections 13.08.090 and 13.08.100 entitled Revenues and Accounts are outdated and inapplicable to the current operations of the village's sewer system. Both sections have been removed. Section 13.08.140 entitled Sewer Disposal Facilities provides that no new private sewage connections will be allowed when a public system is available. And finally, in Chapter 13.09, which is entitled Illicit Discharges and Connections to the Storm Drainage System, a definition of point source discharge has been added at the recommendation of the Public Works Department. So those are the major changes to chapters 13.04, 13.08, and 13.09. I would add to be continued. We will continue to bring ordinances to you. We're going to try to do it every meeting, new titles. Staff has worked very hard on reviewing this along with the legal team, and we'll continue to get the code revised. We're hopeful we'll get it done by the end of the summer. I think that's realistic.
Concluding with the largest as part of our joint meeting agenda with the Plan Commission.
Right, there you go. So any questions on these particular provisions?
Trustee
Just a
Vogel,
real quick question. On number 2,
Yeah.
the ownership. At closing, isn't there a transfer tax that is paid to the village of some type?
There is a...
And isn't...
It's not a transfer.
Well, that's only half the question. Isn't there also, if there's a open water bill, don't they have to settle a water bill before we... So is that 30 days to 10 days? What does that cover? Or what
30 days to 10 days addresses the seller notifying finance that they no longer will be owning this property, that the property is going to change hands. Your question is a good one. It is sort of duplicative because to sell property, you've got to get a transfer stamp.
Right.
To get a transfer stamp, you have to pay your final water bill. This is, I think it's belt and suspenders to let finance know that you no longer will be owning this particular property.
That requires a new billing address?
Yeah.
A new billing, okay, person, all right.
Correct.
Thanks.
Sure.
Thank you, Trustee Vogel. Any other questions or comments? If there are none, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos.
Second.
Second, Trustee Kruger. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes. Official communications. Trustee Kruger is waving.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Mr. President. First one is for Director Kaup. We talked about yard waste and trash today, but is the Village of Wheeling going to do something in conjunction with Swank with that on-site recycling and paper destruction event that we used to do, I think, pre-pandemic?
Yes, we have an upcoming shred event in May. We separated the shred event with the electronic waste recycling event because of the at-your-curb service that Waste Management provides.
Okay.
So this will be a shred event only, and it'll be for all Swank community residents. There will be more detailed information in the upcoming newsletter.
Sounds good, thank you. And lastly, I wanted to just personally give a shout out and a thank you to K-9 Officer Riggs and his handler, Officer Chris Canchis. I have always been a supporter of the K-9 program, probably because I like really big dogs. And I think that it's a great program, and that in addition to both Officer Riggs and Officer Canchis having served as a K-9 team, not only supported the needs of our community, but the needs of other communities that didn't have a K-9 and they needed one. So Riggs, certainly stepped in with all four paws and gave his best shot. And I've also participated in quite a few of the demonstrations that K-9 Riggs and Officer Canchis did, and not only do I think that people get an education of seeing what their dog does and can do, It really brings the community together, and I guess I would ask Chief Dunn, are we getting another dog?
Yes, we're registered for the mid-September class for the next Canine Training Academy.
That's awesome. That's it, so best wishes to Canine Riggs, and in his retirement, I'm hoping for a meet and greet when he's a civilian.
Thank you, Trustee Kruger. Trustee Papantos?
Thank you. I also wanted to congratulate Officer Canchez and Riggs. I remember before he went in for training, Riggs, that is, not Chris, we got to pet him, and he's a lover, so I think he's going to have a good life, being retired, where he can get petted by a whole lot of people and enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to the new dog and any other dogs that happen to come by the village. Arbor Day. In the past, prior to the pandemic, we used to plant a tree at one of the schools. Will we be doing that again?
Yes, we will be. Unofficially, we are speaking with Tarkenton to have an event for Arbor Day. We'll be planting a tree. Right now, that our superintendent of streets and forestry is in the midst of planning that, and that will also be something that we'll put out in the coming days.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. If we have nothing else, we have to pay the bills. I need a motion for the approval of the bills for March 17th until March 30th, 2022. Motion, please.
So moved.
Trustee Vogel, second.
Second.
Trustee Rufato.
Let's wait for you, Joe.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, we have no executive session tonight. There will be no other actions this evening except a motion to adjourn, if I could get that.
So moved.
Motion, Trustee Kruger, second.
Second.
Trustee Vito. All in
Joe.
favor?
Got it.
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Go into your settings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.